Well, let's now get you the latest on the world's largest democratic election that's taking place from tomorrow in India. Well, the first phase of India's general elections takes place on Friday. This is for 102 seats in the 543-member House. And of these, a major chunk, that's 39 to be precise, comes from Tamil Nadu, which goes to the polls in a single phase. There are 21 states and union territories polling in this round. Voting starts at 8 in the morning and concludes at 5 p.m., with an extension of an hour to complete the polling process of voters who are already in the line. Anil Thomas puts the first phase in perspective.
Quick look at the 102 seats that go to polls on the 19th of April. This is the map of India there, and the seats from across the country, especially the east, where majority of the seats take place. Also Tamil Nadu, another crucial state that could decide the political fate of many parties, the regional forces as well as national forces. 39 seats in Tamil Nadu. Many states in the northeast getting over in one phase. In the north, you've got Uttarakhand that gets over in the first phase of voting. Let's quickly break this into 5 zones in India and take a look at how the numbers play out. First, the north of India, you've got 1 seat in Udhampur that goes to the polls. Uttarakhand in one phase gets over all 5 seats here. And Uttar Pradesh, the western part of Uttar Pradesh, that goes to polls in this particular phase. There are almost 14 seats there. BJP in 2019 managed to win 9 of them. Congress not. Others, which includes the Samajwadi Party along with the BSP, that managed to pick 5 seats in the northern belt of India in 2019. Juxtapose it with 2024, the numbers change. NDA getting 9, India bloc picking up 2 seats there. Others, the BSP, again fighting on its own. 3 seats there in Uttar Pradesh that the BSP holds. And that's how the north of India looks like. A quick look now at the western part of India. Rajasthan 12 seats, Maharashtra, Vidarbha, 5 seats in Vidarbha go to the polls, 17 seats in the western part of India. And if you break that 17 seats into 2019 results throw a mixed number with the BJP holding fort. BJP picking up 16 seats from the 17 in the western part of India. 1 seat, the lone seat of Chandrapur, that came to the Congress in 2019. Flip it with 2024, break it into the 2 blocks, the NDA, the opposition bloc. NDA having 16 seats there in 2024, the opposition bloc with 1 seat in western part of India. Let's now change focus and go to the third part, the southern part of India. This is where the big battle is in phase 1 of elections. You've got Tamil Nadu, all 39 seats, 3 union territories, Puducherry, Lakshadweep, along with Andaman and Nicobar Islands, 42 seats there in the elections. This is where the big battle is going to be played out. Quickly putting the 2019 results into perspective, DMK picking up 16, the Congress picking up 10, AIADMK 1, others, the left bloc, all put together picking up those 7 seats. Juxtapose it with 2024 numbers. Clearly, this is where I said the big battle will be played out. The NDA not able to open its account. The India bloc or the opposition bloc having 41 seats. The 1 seat that's with the others, the AIADMK faction, that's once again decided to go solo in these elections. Moving to the central part of India, you've got 7 seats there. 6 seats in Madhya Pradesh, 1 seat in Chhattisgarh. The seat of Batsara goes to polls in Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh goes to polls in 3 phases. 7 seats here. 2019 results, 5 for the BJP, 2 for the Congress. Congress managed to retain Chindwara, that's Kamal Nath's fortress, along with the seat in Bastar. Put it into 2024 numbers, it still doesn't change. The central part of India, the NDA has 5, the Congress or the opposition bloc has 2 seats in central part of India. A final look at the eastern part, that's the most significant part of India, because many states here, the polling process would be over in this particular phase. Bihar 4, Assam 5, West Bengal 3, the 7 sisters, almost all of them would be over except for Tripura along with Manipur, that would be there in the second phase of polling. There are 22 seats in this phase if you look at the eastern part of India, and this is where another, the battle inside the battle would be played in the eastern part of India. 22 seats, BJP winning 13, the Congress winning 1, others having 8. Others, when I say the regional forces in the eastern part of India who managed to win the elections. put it against 2024 numbers, the NDA has 21 seats against their name. The opposition bloc 1 seat, the seat of Shillong that Vincent Pala holds.
Well, that was Anil Thomas giving us a compass view of the elections that are going to take place tomorrow. Now, conducting elections in India is a pretty difficult task, Herculean some might say, because of the large population in the country, but also because of the topography, and we saw a little bit of that. It's north, south, east, west, center. Now, here's DD India correspondent from Meghalaya telling us about the challenges that the Election Commission has overcome to make the elections possible there.
Elections in India is a massive exercise, not only because of the huge population of the country, but also because of the vast topography, which includes deserts, hills, rivers, lakes, which all have to be overcome by the polling officials across the country. And here, right now, we are in Sohra and we are trying to document one such journey of the polling officials.
The Election Commission of India teams set up a polling booth ahead of the general election in the serene Nongriyat village in East Khasi Hills of Meghalaya. The journey for setting up this polling booth is a grueling one. The preparations begin in Sohra subdivision of Meghalaya, where first the polling officials collect the electronic voting machines and other equipment required to conduct elections. After a journey of about an hour via road, the polling officials reach the nearest motorable village, Tirna, from where the polling party has to go on a trek to the village.
And from here onwards, there is no motorable path. So all the people, including the poll officials, have to carry all of their equipments, including the electronic voting machines, through a treacherous path of about 3,500 stairs. Now these are steep stairs going downwards, and to come back, you have to take back the same route of about 3,500 stairs. That is equivalent to about 60 floors to make all the poll preparations so that voting takes place in the village.
The trek to the village where the polling stations have to be set up is an arduous one. Over 3,500 steps of climbing down with all the essential equipment has to be carried out by the polling officials. The elevation that they climb down is an equivalent of over 60 floors. The trek often involves the officials to cross bridges, rivers, and often in rains through a treacherous path.
To reach these far-flung villages in remote areas, the Election Commission teams often have to cross these kind of bridges and difficult terrains, which makes their job even more difficult as far as reaching those areas to provide them with all of the equipment that is required for the voting procedure is concerned.
After a day of journey on foot, the teams finally reach their destination, where now they have to ensure a smooth and transparent election process. The teams have to be present with the voting equipment at all times. The polling officials describe the journey as difficult but a fulfilling one.
We have about 144 voters as per the electoral list in the copy. The fact that the ECI takes all the measures, all the pains and vision to bring officials right next to the doorstep of our voters to vote, that itself tells that nobody is going to be left behind.
The people of the village welcome the polling parties and appreciate their hard work, which enables them to participate in the polling procedure with ease.
Sending many people down here, it's not like it just sending a person or two, it's like a group of them, like within 10 people. So it's really very much appreciated for the Election Commission.
The people of the village also say that due to the Election Commission's efforts, they can use their right to vote to bring changes in their lives and of the village. Nongriyat village falls under P2 category of polling stations, where the polling teams have to reach 2 days in advance, keeping in view the difficult journey and remote locations. In Meghalaya alone, there are a total of 3,354 polling stations, out of which 747 fall under P2 category, which is only a glimpse of all the effort required to make elections possible in India.
Elections in India are not only characterized by the vast size of the polling procedure, but also the nature of it, which requires hard work and dedication by the polling teams, and the challenges that they overcome to make this exercise possible in India truly make the Indian elections great. In Nongriyat, with camera person Ashish Sharma, Akshay Dongre, DD India.
Well, in preparation for the 2024 general elections in Nagaland, polling team vehicles and materials, including EVMs and VVPATs, were dispatched for 6 districts in the state. And the Deputy Commissioner Kumar Ramnikant announced that Kohima has a total of 186 polling stations, with 51 being managed by women. Additionally, for the first time, the 10th Northern Angami Assembly constituency will be entirely managed by women. Approximately 700 polling team vehicles along with EVMs and VVPATs have been dispatched for these 6 districts. So still to come here on DD India News Hour. Indonesia shuts provincial airport in Sulawesi after the Ruang volcano belches explosive lava, rocks and ash for days. Pakistan's President Zardari addresses a joint session of Parliament, urges joint efforts to steer Pakistan out of crisis. And jury selection in the hush money trial continues. Trump arrives in court for the 3rd day of his trial.
Will the Israel-Iran conflict blow up into a full-blown war in West Asia or the Middle East? Who killed the world's largest anaconda barely days after it was first discovered? Watch Connecting the Dots every Friday at 8 p.m. IST or 14:30 GMT on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Mark Lynn, and now we are going to go across and talk to our correspondents in different parts of the country, get an idea of the preparations for tomorrow's elections. Here they are on the screen. We can see them. Tapas Bhattacharya in Kohima in Nagaland. Anbarasan is in Chennai in Tamil Nadu. Gautam Roy is joining us from Gangtok in Sikkim. And Shishir Shella is joining us from Nagpur in Maharashtra. Thanks all of you. Let me start with you, Gautam. Preparations are in place. Run us through the detail. Looks like the weather's an issue there.
Yes, Mark, preparations are definitely in place for the lone parliamentary seats election. That's the one seat that Sikkim has, and 32 assembly seats as well. So these are simultaneous polls that are taking place in Sikkim in the first phase of the general elections, and preparations are completely in place for it, be it security arrangements. 13 companies of Central Paramilitary Forces, apart from a lot of local forces, have also been deployed. All the polling personnel are in their place already. They'll be spending the night at these polling stations because polling begins early tomorrow at 7 in the morning. It will go on till 5. The only challenge, because the rest of it is in place, is the weather, because it's been raining consistently. I've been here since the 15th, and we've hardly seen any sun all these days, and that is what is being forecast for tomorrow as well. As long as the weather doesn't get really stormy, I don't think it will daunt people. I spoke to the Chief Electoral Officer, D. Anandan, here in Sikkim earlier in the evening, and he said that the last time there was 82% polling for both the Lok Sabha and the Assembly polls, and this time the goal is to take it beyond 90%, and I wish him all the best for that, because not that he will need it. I'm sure the people of Sikkim are more than ready to come out in huge numbers, despite a bit of a challenge from the weather, to give their own as far as the elections are concerned, exercising their franchise is concerned.
Yes, Anbarasan, so Tamil Nadu is the major state going to the polls in the first phase. Tell us, what the preparations are like, and also give us an understanding of how people are prepared. That silence period is over. People have thought about what they had to do, and voting is a serious business at the end of the day. I mean, people are choosing a government.
As Gautam said, the stormy weather in the northeast, in southern Tamil Nadu, all the constituencies, you can see the weather is like that much weather, heat. So this constituency, all 39 constituency are going for poll tomorrow, including the Puducherry, the one constituency. So all the 40 constituencies, all the EVM machines, ballot, everything sent to all the polling station. across around 68,000 polling booths has been prepared with all the equipments, with the water, shades, and PWD voters can also enter, and the ramps, everything is all set. The Chief Election Commissioner for Tamil Nadu, Satyaprada Sagu, also said this election, last time actually around 75% of voter turnout has been recorded. This time we need to achieve more on that, and this is last time actually the month of May actually the election is held. This time this very April, May itself due to the weather condition. And this election kind of a triangular fight between all the ADMK, DMK and the BJP alliances. You can know that the BJP is emerging as a important player in that. We need to see if they tomorrow onwards, means after the election, see if they emerged as a second player in that. And also the 39 constituencies, they fielded with every star candidates, and also the ADMK, DMK also reached out every across all the 39 constituency, the leaders, and the poll ascended, yesterday itself. So
Yes.
the poll campaigning, and this last 2 days, all the preparation on full swing. Tomorrow 7 a.m. onwards, the people are waiting to vote, and also we need to see the turnout how it was, and also this election kind of
Yes.
triangular fight, and also 2014 to 2019 there is a totally different poll this time. So
Okay.
we need to see how it going to turn out, and also this all the three parties are going for the on 2026 state assembly election. For this election turnout and the vote percentage, and
Yes.
also the result may play important role in the 2026.
So the turnout is
for all
important,
the
and
three
that's a
parties.
clear signal also about the beauty of democracy. We are calling this, Tapas, the beauty of democracy in our country, seeing high, large voter turnouts. But as I was asking Anbarasan earlier too, that voting is a serious business. After all, people are making a social contract. From where you are, the entire Northeast, in a sense, how are they viewing this election?
Well, there is no denying that part, that everybody is looking at this particular election as a way to push forth the case for development agenda, infrastructure development, in education development. But then, I have to say that, there are a couple of things that are very similar to what we have with Anbarsan as well as with Gautam. Gautam said that the weather is going to play a tricky role. It's definitely going to play the same role here in Nagaland, in Kohima. It is expected that 40% of chances of rain, so people will like to get up early in the morning. At 7 a.m. the polling will start, and the election commission office here in Nagaland has said that out of the 2,342 polling booths, 1/4 of them have been marked critical. So you have 588 booths that have been marked critical and vulnerable. And at the same time, I like to say that both Anbarsan mentioned that there is a tri-party tussle going on. Here also it's a tri-party tussle that's going on with Congress, Congress candidate S. Supangbaran Chamir, and NDPP and BJP combined Chumben Muri, and as well as an independent Haitung Tungo Lotha. So the three candidates are in play, although we see the major fight going between the Congress as well as the BJP and DPP candidate making most of that. But again, making it a point that 6 districts in eastern Nagaland have called for a boycott, or what you say, abstaining from this particular election. So that it will be interesting to see whether the agencies manage to convince them to take part in that. But as of now, what I can tell you is that 6 districts out of the 16 overall districts in Nagaland have, especially in the eastern Nagaland, they have called for abstaining from this particular Lok Sabha election. Again, we have to talk about the way the Election Commission's office has worked day and night to provide security and provide the last mile polling station. We have to just make it a point that we have out of the 2,342 polling station, 50%, more than 50%, almost 1,097 polling station will have webcasting facility. So you have the webcasting facilities in them, live webcasting facility, and 82 will be under under offline videography. So all those people who were talking about whether there will be some sort of malpractices going on, the Election Commission's office is making sure that there isn't any such thing that will take place. And also with the flying squad going through the polling station, you will find a lot more seriousness. And as I mentioned, you mentioned the fact that it's people come out in large number. In Nagaland, the last time the voting took place, it was over 85% of voting. So one will have to wait for the final result tomorrow night. But
yes, indeed.
we believe that it is expected to touch that.
True. Let's go across to Shishir, who's standing by Nagpur in Maharashtra. Shishir, all three of them have talked about the weather, so let me ask you about that too. I mean, what steps are people taking to beat the heat? And also that Maharashtra is going to the polls in 5 phases. So, in terms of the organization, from the EC point of view, what are the do's and don'ts?
Well, absolutely. It's raining in the north, and we have seen that it's humidity in the south, but in the middle of the country, where I'm standing in Nagpur right now, it's scorching heat, and probably keeping that in mind, special arrangements have been done by the election commissions here. That's the reason even the election commission have appealed people that they should come in early morning and cast their vote here. Obviously, the EVM will be locked tomorrow evening, but people must have locked their mind now that whom they're going to vote for. We've already shown what are the issues there in Maharashtra also and in Nagpur particularly, because the 5 Lok Sabha seats will be going for the poll tomorrow from the eastern Vidarbha region of Maharashtra, and all these 5 seats have their own issues. We have seen this time around quite a different fight in Maharashtra. Obviously, on a larger scale, we have seen there are 2 alliances which will be fighting against each other. One, which is the NDA, which comprises of BJP, NCP, and the Shiv Sena, that is a Shinde party. On the other hand, we have seen that the India alliances is fighting, which includes Congress, NCP, Sharad Pawar, and Uddhav Thackeray, along with the other alliance partners. So obviously, the alliance partners and everything, the battle is ready for tomorrow, and people, as I told you, that must have made up their mind that whom they're going to vote for. This time around, the issues were different, obviously, because we have seen a completely realignment of the political parties here. We have seen a fraction in the political parties, be it Shiv Sena or NCP, and that's the reason this time around there's more on the platter for voters here, because they've got so many options to choose from. And that's probably a good thing for all the voters here.
Absolutely.
The second important aspect, as far as the arrangements are concerned, let me tell you that, in Gadchiroli, especially the sensitive zone, the Gadchiroli seat will also be going for the poll tomorrow. And that's the reason some of the areas of the Gadchiroli are sensitive. The polling party have reached almost 3 days before to these places here, because reaching to these spots is quite difficult. And at the same time, you also have the Naxalism problem around the region. And that's the reason, keeping that in mind, the security aspects and the other important issues that security forces must have kept in mind, and that's the reason the polling party have reached to some of these areas quite a couple of days before. Right now in Nagpur also, Nagpur known as the city area. Even now today also we have seen that the polling parties have reached to their destinations with all the equipment, so VVPAT and the EVMs have also been placed at all the polling stations here. Most important aspect is that to make this experience quite a smoother one, and amazing. This time around, the Nagpur district election of the election officer have decided to conduct this polling, the entire experience, a theme-based polling experience. For example, let me tell you that some of the polling stations will be manned by women employees only. Some of the polling station will have the transit.
Shishir, I'm afraid we are running short of time, so I'll have to stop, come in there and, thank all of you for giving us a flavor of the beauty of Indian elections. And we can clearly see from the heat to the rain to the preparations. We look forward to your inputs tomorrow as we begin to see all this take shape as India comes out to vote for 102 seats tomorrow. Thanks for being with us.